Welcome to Annette on Life, Liberty, and Happiness, a podcast where I talk about the Constitution, history, politics, parenting, the culture, pretty much anything I want. And if you listen today, you'll discover that pretty much anything really does mean pretty much anything. You can find this podcast on AnnetteTalks.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and YouTube. And if you're only listening, you can find this video on YouTube, and I think you're going to want to find the video this time because we are all sitting here in costume, me with my two guests, which are joining me via the internet. So I have with me my sister Jane Greaves and my brother-in-law David Greaves.
Hey, Annette.
Hello.
Hi, guys. So if you're watching, you probably surmised that we are going to be talking about their latest music video, which happens to be a Star Wars parody video. Yeah, don't act surprised, guys. You're sitting there dressed as Han and Princess Leia, right? So tell us all, what is your latest video called?
Christmas in Cloud City.
All right, and so you both wrote and performed this song, right, Jane?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been writing songs for how long now?
Well, I started, I think I was 21, so it's
almost 20 years ago. I not to give away your age or anything.
Pretty much. Now, I went through a, writing song spell, so I wrote a bunch of songs when I was young. Then I thought, I'll go get a degree in singing, so I did, but that taught me how to sing better, but it didn't necessarily teach me how to write songs. And then I got married, had kids, and didn't write another song until my husband's 30th birthday 7 years ago.
Thanks.
What? He's younger than you?
He is.
I'm shocked.
Anyway.
It's the hair, right? The hair.
Yeah, all that lustrous, natural hair that you've got going there.
Well, I decided to write him a Star Wars song for his 30th birthday. And that was the other music video I did. Well, it started off as If I Were Princess Leia, then I had to change the words for copyright reasons. Then it became If I Could Be Princess Leia. And that one was somewhat of a flop, meaning we didn't really get it out there much, about 3,000 views over 2 years. So I thought, hey, what other Star Wars song can I write? And I thought, Christmas. What a brilliant idea, because, I can whip that song out every year and try and get more people to watch it. So everybody likes Christmas songs.
I happen to notice behind you that there's like some objects. Does this have anything to do with the fact that David has a fondness for Star Wars?
Yes.
We are in our guest bedroom / Star Wars room. Thought that would be a nice backdrop.
So, David, you like Star Wars a little bit?
Yes.
Your hair is messed up now. You're beautiful.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
My natural hair is not looking the best at the moment. My Han Solo hair. Yeah, I've been obsessed, rightfully, definitely, for many years, since I was 2 years old with Star Wars. So you can do the math on that, thanks to Jane revealing my age. And so, yes, this is the Star Wars room, as Jane likes to say, where things come alive at night for the guests. The toys might come alive. And so we thought this was an appropriate setting. And Jane, knowing me, thought the best way to convince me to make a music video is to make a Star Wars theme. Right,
because you would be on board for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of my dream, too, to make a Star Wars video. So we both got to live some dreams here.
Awesome. Well, I have to address a serious concern for a moment here. I was in both those videos, and I happen to be dressed the way I was dressed in the first video, not the second video because I don't have that costume with me right now. But in watching the new video, the Christmas in Cloud City video, something really bothered me. So I just want to put it out there. Why all the PDA?
What is this PDA you speak of?
Yeah, what, New Year's in Naboo, right? There were some
It's New Year's Eve. You get a New Year's Eve kiss. We thought
Yeah, a little peck on the lips, right?
it was very appropriate.
Han and Leia were denied many opportunities. What's that?
What? We didn't hear you, hon.
I didn't say anything. Keep going.
Okay.
Ah,
Han and Leia were denied a lot of chances to really kiss in the movies. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't miss that chance.
you know, I could use a good kiss.
It seemed like a certain Imperial officer played by Annette was getting mighty fresh with Lando Calrissian.
Oh, yeah. There was some kissing action there, too.
One kiss on the hand, my friends. Your kiss went on and on and on. I was like, dude, hey, you know, this is supposed to be what, PG, not PG-13? Or if we had to rate this thing, I'm afraid it would have to be a 13 just for that scene.
For those listening in, don't let that stop you from going to watch the video.
No, I think they're going
PDA
to
didn't hurt.
really want to watch it now because I could tell just from watching that some tongue action was going on. Anyway,
I don't know about that.
So I just had to get that out there. It's been
Okay.
bothering me.
Okay.
Yeah, every time I watch it, I'm you know, and I know that that chemistry is real because I've seen some of that same kind of activity right in my own kitchen.
Would you like us to do that right now?
No.
Okay.
No, okay.
Okay.
She wants to keep this a PG podcast.
Yes, this is a PG podcast. Keep the tongues in the mouths. All right, so so the other thing that I learned about this video after I was in it that I didn't know about was something about an ice maker. So David, tell us about that. Why is there, ice cream maker. Why does an ice cream maker show up in this video?
Yes, this is an important topic, Annette, more so than the PDA, okay?
Much more.
So the setting of the movie, of the film, is in Cloud City. And, you know, when we think about Cloud City, we think about Lando Calrissian, we think about Han Solo and Carbonite, but to a really hardcore fan, they think about Wilro Hood. Okay, Wilro Hood. Do you know the story of Wilro Hood?
Of course you do.
Only from what you've told me. So
Okay, so let's share for the audience the story of Wilro Hood. So Wilro Hood, when the Empire took over the Cloud City, you know, at the time when they were capturing Han and Luke and Leia, Wilro Hood, he had to escape. Many people were running. There was a lot of chaos. You can see this in the movies. And this man wanted to save his most precious thing, which apparently in 1970s, 1980s props was an ice cream maker. And so later fandom set in and everyone said, who is this guy and why does he want to save his ice cream maker? Why is this ice cream maker so important? So it turns out the ice cream maker, you know, later on we go on and we talk about these things and nerds hypothesize, is actually a data storage. And so, but it really is an ice cream maker. So we wanted to put it in there as a little homage to Wilro Hood, and he runs with his ice cream maker. He does all he can to save that ice cream maker. And now what's really cool, and we didn't know this, and so spoiler alert for those who are not yet watching The Mandalorian, but I'm going to say it anyway. We did not know yet what The Mandalorian TV show would show, but in one of the episodes, The Mandalorian receives his money, his payment of steel, Beskar steel, inside an ice cream maker. So they open up the ice cream maker, and so it's really neat that we not only, you know, had this little thing to remember Wilro Hood, but we had this call to The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome. And you had Boba Fett on there as well, right? So,
yes, we had Boba Fett, we had Jawas, we had Yoda, not quite a baby Yoda, not as cute as baby Yoda, but we had a Yoda. And so we do have a lot of things without knowing what Mandalorian would have, just to get those on the call here, enticed to watch it.
Wow, yeah, you managed to get a lot into this video. We have so many characters. There's dancing, there's singing, there's what's that band called with the little characters?
Max Rebo Band.
Yeah, the Max Rebo Band, which you filmed that in my basement, didn't you? With all your little...
Well, you did a trial run in your basement, and then they did the real deal in our garage.
It was just a trial in the bit. Okay.
Yes.
So, but you got the Max Rebo Band in there. Obviously, you had Lando Calrissian, who did a really good job. And so what part of this was the most difficult for you guys to film or to plan? I mean, what was the hardest part of this whole deal? Because you filmed it in a couple different places, right?
Well, the hardest part was transporting everything to Houston. We live in Midland, and it's an 8-hour drive, and we had to bring not only every last costume, we had to bring R2-D2, and I mean, pretty much everything you see, we had to bring, plus our 5 kids, plus, you know, what it takes to survive a weekend in Houston. And it took both of our cars, and that was the most difficult part. And then, you know, doing everything, we didn't necessarily have someone working on props, someone working on anything else. It was just the 2 of us and our cinematographer trying to get everything done. And wow, we forgot a few things. Yeah, one of my big bummers about it is that Luke doesn't have the 70s hair. We had the wig there, we brought it, it was sitting there, we just forgot to give it to him. What was the other thing?
I think we kind of discovered that you really need to have like a props master.
Yep.
And someone in charge of like everything, like we need a producer, a director, all these things that we didn't have because it's just a little amateur production. And I remember when we were unloading the vehicles, taking all the stuff out and taking them up to the studio, that we were trying to go really fast, and David didn't like that. We're trying to be funny. Hey, Jane and I like to crack jokes, and David said, "What did you say, David?"
So there's no time to be funny. We need to hurry.
And so Jane and I accepted that challenge to try to be funny.
We can be funny and fast at the same time.
And I think we accomplished that.
And thankfully, when you say something to Annette, she will never let it die. So for those listening, be careful. So
no, but it was a lot of fun filming. And were you surprised by the setup when we got there? It wasn't just one camera and a green screen, because the first video was just one camera and like a small green screen studio. This was different.
yeah, so the first time we were in Denver and we found a studio, Jane found a studio, and then we had our cinematographer come out to Denver to film there. This time we went to him in Houston, and thanks to his resources, we were able to use the community college where he worked. And it was a big screen, right? It was a lot bigger, had angles, and you know, we talked about how we didn't have a lot of help in terms of we had to do every job. When you look at the credits, there's a lot of jobs in the credits, right? And we had to fill most of those, which was pretty stressful. But we had a whole film crew, right? We had 8 students and the professor helping run the other cameras, run the sound, move props around. So it was really a neat experience to have a whole team helping us out this time.
Yeah, there were like 3 cameras, weren't there?
Yeah. 3 cameras, multiple lights, the special sound room. It was the full ordeal.
And then there were the dressing rooms and green room. And yeah, it was really cool. It felt like a professional production, except that obviously we were all running around trying to get everybody in costume and trying to figure out what costumes fit what, and having like the belt on my little outfit popped off during my dance scene, and a few other little costume mishaps that and I think in a professional production those things happen, but you have someone to run over and like fix it for you, you know, safety.
Yeah, you have a lot more appreciation for how many things go wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although the finished product you can't tell. I mean, you know, you don't see the fact that Chewbacca's standing up on a like a box or something, was it? Because he was a tall kid, but he wasn't that tall.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we need to give a lot of credit to Billy, our cinematographer, who did a lot of editing after the fact on things that, you know, may have caught your attention. Yeah.
Oh, and I know from experience that editing is like the hardest part. I mean, the filming, we got that done in how many hours were we in Houston filming?
Oh.
The green screen, we probably,
I don't know.
7 hours.
About that.
Yeah.
And then you filmed at another location the week before, right?
Right. So Tatooine, we have some sand dunes about an hour's drive away from here. So we thought we'd get that taken care of on site. And then we also did the New Year's in Naboo. That was actually the night before we did that, and that was just at a strip mall in north of Houston. That just kind of looked like Naboo.
And so the total filming was probably 15 hours or something like that.
Something like that for our 4-minute video.
Right. And then I can guarantee you editing was probably 10 times that or something. I mean,
we got to hand it to Billy.
Based on the times that he wrote us emails, it was all of Thanksgiving weekend at all odd hours. So probably 100 hours or more. Yeah,
it used the editing part, which is why I hate editing. It's just so time consuming, and it makes such a huge difference, especially with something like this where he was doing some special effects and working with the green screen and putting in those backgrounds and everything. So much goes into it and now every time I go to a movie or watch TV, I'm like, oh, I can tell where the editing happened, and and now you appreciate all the different angles, because that made a big difference too. Instead of just one camera straight on, getting it from 3 different angles, that makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's why one reason we really like this video compared to last time is with the angles, it adds a lot more depth to everything. Absolutely.
Yeah, it adds 2 more dimensions or viewpoints, so it makes a big difference. What would you do differently if you had to redo this video?
Have people in charge of costumes, have people have a director that knows exactly what's going to happen because I was lost. I feel like I was lost half the day. David had a piece of paper of what scenes we were supposed to do, and I kept running up to him saying, "What are we doing?" And we ended up, not getting scenes in that we wanted, and I was kind of in a daze because it was just so overwhelming.
What did you learn from doing the first video that you did differently in the second video?
I changed my expectations. So we had a very perfect plan, or felt we had a perfect plan on the last video, and nothing ever goes the way you plan, right? So in the last video, we were supposed to go film outside, and Jane had this great idea for a Dirty Dancing scene.
Spoofing the movie Dirty Dancing.
A clean Dirty Dancing scene. Let me clarify.
You know what? After seeing that PDA, I don't think we wanted to see any of your Dirty Dancing scenes.
But just to be clear here, when we did that scene, we were going to go do that scene, then it snowed because it was Colorado, and it always snows.
May 22nd. Yeah. Huge snowstorm.
So from that, we learned.
Every time you guys come into town, you bring a big snowstorm. I just want to go on record right now. You were just here for Thanksgiving. What did we have? 2 days or 1 day of really bad snow, and then you were here for the bomb cyclone in spring break. So yeah, if you would stay out of town, then maybe we could.
I don't know why you keep inviting us back.
I don't either.
Yeah, you guys can use the moisture.
Yeah. Oh, don't say moisture. That's not our favorite word, or moist, right?
Moist, yeah.
All right. So, where can people find this video, and where else is this, your other video, and or just if people want to just download the songs?
You can pretty much find them anywhere. So our videos are on YouTube, and then my song, I went through CD Baby, so pretty much you can find my song anywhere. You can stream it if it's already on your whatever streaming thing you have.
Like
iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all the other common ones. And then if you go to YouTube, you can type Christmas in Cloud City, all 4 different words, or you can type Jane Greaves Productions, and you'll find not only the 2 videos, but you'll also find the latest song, just the song, in case you want to, listen to it this holiday season.
I think I just typed in Jane Greaves when I went to YouTube, and it popped up, Greaves. I'm also going to link to it in the show notes for this podcast on AnnetteTalks.com. And if people wanted to reach you, either one of you, for any reason, where would be a good place to reach you? like an email address or a website or something, or Facebook, or what? Someone wanted to reach out to you. What's a good place?
They could email me, I guess. My email address is janegreaves11@gmail.com.
All right. Or they can email me here at Annette@AnnetteTalks.com, and I can pass it on. Also, what are your future plans? Is there going to be another Star Wars parody video in your future?
Well, I'm kind of running out of ideas, although I don't know. Maybe The Mandalorian. Maybe I could come up with a song that goes with The Mandalorian.
So it'll be all about Baby Yoda.
No, I'm going to focus more on The Mandalorian. There's something attractive about this Mandalorian, even though we've never seen his face.
I know, isn't that annoying? I mean, it's mysterious, which is nice, but not seeing facial expressions gets to be annoying after a while. Like the last one, which was, my friend mentioned that it was basically based on the Magnificent Seven. And I thought, yeah, we figured it was a Western, just didn't know which one. So I'll have to go back and watch that Magnificent Seven again. But when she's begging him to stay, or basically saying, well, why don't you stay? You know, and she kept saying, what was it, raise your boy, or about Yoda?
Yes.
So cheesy. But I was thinking, how can you be asking some dude to basically stay and marry you if you've never even seen his face? You don't even know what's going on underneath that helmet. You know?
And if your boy looks like Yoda, what's to say the Mandalorian doesn't have big green ears either?
Yeah, that's a really good point. For all
You could have him tied on the back.
he could look totally like the big Yoda if she thinks that's a boy. So,
Highly unlikely.
there are a lot of holes in that Mandalorian story. You guys think they'll ever take the helmet off?
Oh, I'm sure at some point.
Yeah.
I sure hope so. I mean, I think most of us know what the actor looks like, but still,
Yeah.
they need to take that off. All right.
But that is not the way.
I have spoken.
I have
Yeah.
spoken.
What other catchphrases are they going to come up with? Hey, you should use those in your next song. If you do one about the Mandalorian, definitely catchphrases have got to be included.
Yep.
And Baby Yoda has got to play a really big part. Maybe he can do really annoying things. Awesome. All right, so any final words to your viewers, listeners, about any of this?
Oh, not that I can think of. Just we hope you enjoy it. We hope you watch it and share it. And hopefully it becomes one of your favorite Christmas songs that you want to listen to every year.
Yeah, everyone needs a good Star Wars parody Christmas song to listen to.
Absolutely.
I was really desperate for one my entire life.
So you got one, and you got a woman that makes these videos. Aren't you
Yes.
lucky?
I
Yes.
made all of his wildest dreams come true.
Great. That's Pedro, isn't he? You voted for
Yes.
Someone voted for Pedro. All right. Well, thank you both for being on my podcast and sharing your story about your video. I look forward to sitting down and watching it many more times because that song's not already stuck in my head.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Annette.
Well, thank you for letting us be on your show. Annette Won't Shut Up. Isn't that what it's called?
I think you're confused.
Oh, okay.
It's called Annette on Life, Liberty, and Happiness.
Oh.
I think you're thinking of Annette Talks. Not
Okay.
All right, well, thanks. We're going to wrap this up now. And again, go find the video on YouTube, Christmas on Cloud City by Jane Greaves and her lovely husband, David, with the natural hair.
Let's just reveal how great that, oh my goodness. You did not see that coming. Oh, let's put it back on.
Quick.
All right, so show us one little PDA before I stop recording here.
One little one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Do we
right.
have to? Oh, jeez.
All right,
Oh, that should have been longer. Sorry.
we're gonna end on that note.
If you need to edit that, just do what you got to do.
No, it's staying in. All
Okay.
right, thank you for watching and listening to Annette on Life, Liberty, and Happiness. podcast that can be found on AnnetteTalks.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube.